Today, I think I'm going to touch upon Indian satellite program, opportunities for industries. Basically, I take this as an opportunity for me to showcase how an Indian industry can be part of our efforts to increase the number of the satellites, to increase the space assets for Indian space point of view. I think I will take it that way. So, though this topic is opportunities for India industries, it is basically, I take this as an opportunity for me to showcase how you can be part and parcel of our efforts. Before telling about what is the thing, this view graph gives a glimpse of typically for spacecraft manufacturing, what are the key players, so that you can question yourself how it happens. Indirectly tells how the satellite being done within India today and how it's going to be evolved in the days or years to come. Overall, we have the users, government user, predominantly as of now government user. Possibly it can, in the coming years, at least in some segment of the space segment, it can be private also. The possibility exists from the user's point of view. But how to make the satellite is basically driven by the Government of India policy, the guidelines, which is driven by the Department of Space. And having known this, there is a customer, there is a requirement, and putting this constraint of we have the policies within that. Yes, you arrive at the spacecraft configuration, depending upon its targeted thing. Doesn't mean we have to go to the moon or Mars. Target means not that way also. It is the other way, putting a navigation satellite, a remote sensing satellite, a communication satellite, things like that. It changes. Accordingly, we arrive at a satellite configuration as a good here symbolically. Then what sort of we look at suppliers for the spacecraft components and bare PCB materials, printed circuit boards, and let it go. So then these have been given to the various work centers as exists yesterday. That means various ISRO centers across India. They will develop various systems. We also started using for the external vendors for some of the systems fabrication and predominantly for testing. For doing all these things, infrastructures, facilities, human resources also have been done there. Finally, of course, the launch take place. Subsequently, for the rest of its life, depending upon the satellite's life, it's being tracking and commanding of the station also being done there. This is a typical life cycle of from the starting requirement to all the way within the constraints of the Government of India policy, how we make the satellites, operate the satellite, maintain these things. This is a typical thing of what's happening there. And towards that, ISAC, where I'm heading, this is the nodal center, Indian Satellite Center, ISRO Satellite Center, where it brings in all the things together, good number of being done there, and finally end-to-end realization of where we stand. Okay, this graph tells about what are our immediate part where we stand. Satellite manufacturing capacity. Just look at here, past, present, and future where we stand. That's what just I'm going to take up on. Just for the couple of years back, nearly 4 to 5 years back, our predominantly Indian industry was providing a manpower contract. That is providing the resources for the manpower for various aspects of either testing the various systems or even to the level of even the soldering in our system, in our facilities happening there. In this mode, we are able to realize not more than 2 to 3 spacecrafts per year. That is the capacity we have built it within the India. This what happened just few years back. Then down the line, 2015 September, I think a phenomenal change started, wherein Vinyan Bhavan, almost all the secretaries from the chief secretaries from the states and the secretaries of the departments within the 70 and departments, Indian departments, all were brought together, and we can showcase what are all the possibilities of using the space for the various societal needs. agriculture, tourism, the oceanography monitoring, forest monitoring, resources monitoring, weather monitoring, navigation, like that. Nearly 80 to 85 possible applications of India-specific applications are using the space also has been showcased to them. And having that is none other than Prime Minister himself inaugurated the two-day function. And after that, good number of things came out that India has to be a technologically advanced country, and the space is one of the region where we will be able to showcase. And not only showcasing, beyond that, we can use the space for our own Indian masses in various point of view. That is one of the things is satellite broadband digital connectivity. I think now the digital India we talk about here, backbone is going to be a high throughput satellites. Totally different class of satellites we are talking about here. I think one of such satellites, just now I see the 3D printing of the waveguide feeds point of view, one of the manufacturers shown here. That is the class of satellites we are talking about here. That is anywhere to anywhere in India, even digitally can be connected, irrespective of whether it's a rural area or the city or the highway roads, irrespective of that, you can connect it. I think it gives a very big vantage point space. It's totally different way of looking. More than, assume around 30 to 60 towers are sitting in the space, which will connect, interlinking the Indian landmass very, very effectively. All the way from the smart cities point of view, and the in-flight broadband connectivity can be, even flight also if possible, and the navigation as well as maritime applications, positioning applications, earth observation applications are very many, all the way from agriculture to weather forecast. Very many things can be done here, forest monitoring, even animals movement point of view, fisheries monitoring, like that very many applications are possible. After this, the demand on the satellites increased. Okay, that means to meet all the applications, existing, on that day existing space assets not good enough. We have to make a quantum jump of making the satellites that requirement came. That means this came like this, that we are doing it 4 to 5 years back, 2 to 3 spacecraft per year. Requirement is now a jump, 8 to 10 spacecraft number alone, but capacity of each one of the satellite also almost equal to 2 to 3 satellite capacity in one satellite. That means a jump is a quantum jump requirement came. So this cannot be done ISRO alone. This is the requirement. This is a driven situation. Requirement has come like this, but ISRO alone cannot do it. I think time and again, even this forum, I think a year back also, I came out like I told, and trying to bring in more industries can be part of that. So whether we can have the industry support in a phased manner, we can work it out there, and outsourcing of the spacecraft subsystems can be done there. Even integration of the satellites can be done by this venture. So this is like that we worked it out here. And this is how we worked out. But what really happened is, not only worked out, various forums like that we have gone, and we have ensured many people, industries, we have reached out, brought them together. CRT also part of such a venture. I think we have made use of this forum also further. We have a couple of industry meets were there. And as an outcome of the meet, here it talks about good number of contracts were signed, executed, and the subsystems started coming from the our Indian industry, which will make the satellites of that number. Okay, each satellite consists of huge number of subsystems, and now number of satellites increased, the capability of the satellites also increased, number of subsystems to be realized came out, and that we have good number of industry came out. Even symbolically, we have a contract signed for the first satellite to end-to-end build and go. I think that satellite is today sitting in Sriharikota to be launched on 31st of August of this month. Okay, whatever we talked about, already it started realizing it's happening there. And accordingly, very many activities beyond talking, beyond making contract, beyond realizing. I think next month by this time, satellite will be there in the space telling, yes, India, ISRO, industry together, we made one full satellite. That's also going to happen there. So, now this is how it's happening today. Okay, and when we talk about this talks about numbers also. As I look at here, as I told here, 2002 to 3 per year we have made it. 2014-15 when we started talking about, that year number of satellite launch was 4 spacecraft. 2016 we launched 12 spacecraft. We never done it. That means almost once in a month one satellite. Not only I told him, talked in media, we made it. And this year, yes, on today, the one satellite to be launched this month, that's plus one I kept it there. In the 8th month, we already launched 8 satellites are launched. 1 satellite to be launched this month. So that means first 8th month of this year, we crossed the number 8 to 9 we have gone there. So this is happening today with the partial industry support, 8 to 10 spacecraft capability. I think we increased. I think we have shown just in a short time period. Having shown it, now it's coming like this. Okay. Now this is what I told. It is what was yesterday. It is no way telling what is going to be today. Okay. Today is a different time domain. Similarly, tomorrow is going to be totally different. Exactly happened to that. Because of the demand and national requirement, these are all various symbolically indicating various point of view, thrust for R&D. Many systems are putting together. It called for and vibrant Indian industry also we have seen. That means it's possible to do something more also. All the things putting together, thing is going something like this. This is not for decades later what's going to come. What's going to happen next year? Okay. You look at here, number of satellite tentative profile. I think almost we are going to finalize this. Profile is nearly 16 satellites to be launched next year. 2019, 2020 to 22. That means you can see the growth in which how many satellites to be realized. This not possible again, as I told here. It is not that we are lifting our hand. We cannot do this satellite, don't do it. Our idea is not like that. This much is not possible for us. Not to do is not the thing. How to do is a basic question. So that is where we are talking about here. Industry, how can play a major role? We are trying to segregate which are the satellites which we feel, which experience what we gained, but first satellite we gained. Possibility of growing it open for more satellites to the industry, possibility exists. That means the gear changes. First gear, second gear, third gear has to come now. Correct now? That is what happened for 2015. We are running to first gear. But not enough. You have to go to the second gear we have gone. That also not good enough. Now we have to change the gear to other. This also about 2018 onwards, 18 spacecrafts per year. Okay. That means once in a month on satellite, almost we are done 2 years to consecutive years. Next year onwards, our mantra is going to be every 2 months, 3 satellites. Okay. This is the thing what we are talking about within ISRO, and I am talking about in this podium. This is what we are going to do. That means it calls for fully industry support, yes, on demand, we have to realize. There is outsourcing of end-to-end spacecraft realization has to happen. Okay, I think that's what we are throwing it open, the challenge. That's what I told morning symbolically. The people sitting there, we don't sit back seat. Okay, it's enough. We are giving the sourcing for the subsystems with the back seat, but we are offering for the front seat. Come and take it to make the satellite end-to-end. Take it that opportunity, not only for the students, for industries. Today is concerned. Okay, and this is how it's going to happen there. How we are going to do it? Okay. That means ISAC, the way Central Van I'm saying there, that calls for a paradigm shift in which way in which you operate has to be changed. Otherwise, we cannot have the target changing, keeping your own mindset same. That's what where I told mindset. Keeping the same mindset, I cannot realize a different target. Okay, same mindset of going to the moon, same way I cannot reach the Mars. Tomorrow going to Venus, I cannot have the same way. Different way of look for, different technology called for, different machinery called for, different satellite called for. Exactly the same thing here also happened there. So here basically what you are telling is outsource, focus on production. Okay, gone are the ways to tell this is the rocket technology, rocket science. Telling like that, this is not touchable. This is not no longer like that. I think it can be realized within India. Yes, opportunity, again using the word opportunity for vibrant industry participation, we are throwing open. This enables off-the-shelf availability of the subsystems, make the numbers of subsystems available, take it, configure the system, and going for that. While doing, yes, this is one is throwing open for the opportunity for the industry. We are again trying to see possibility of infrastructure augmentation within ISRO or possible to the industry also. Ensure infrastructure is augmented. That means the players who are already doing a smaller number of articles have to increase, augment their capacity so that they throughput increases in number. Or new players are coming. In both ways. New players also can come, or existing players can increase their capacity. Let's go. While doing like this, ISRO will translate for the advanced technologies, going for the Chandrayaan 2, going for Aditya, this sort of thing. And as well as how we can manage the system, how we can make the system compact, how we can make the system on demand. In shrinking the satellite doesn't mean satellite has to go up. You are shrinking satellites smaller and smaller. This sort of things will come so that once mature technology given to the industry, so that industry cannot lag behind. Okay, we have so that industry we give abreast to what's happening elsewhere, and accordingly industry also come. This has a two edges. I will try to touch upon what does that mean. So this means here spacecraft components all the way coming to the fully ready satellite. These are all the, as I told initially, the full life cycle of that. How it will be done with respect to each one of the industry have not out. You look at our ISAC.gov.in website, there is a icon called industry. You go there, you will come to know what are the things open there. And not only that, we are today open how RFD you can comply with, how you can be part and parcel of our vendor at earliest possibility exists that we are enabling, how we are qualifying each vendor to be part and parcel of ISRO's activities have been brought out here. So this, any one of the packet you can go, starting from the component screening all the way to the fully tested satellite going for the launch phase getting integrated. I think any one of the part, whichever you feel comfortable, which you feel competent enough, which you feel your skill set is exists there, I think there is a possibility exists because the number of satellites we are going to realize is more. Each life cycle for one satellite is a finite time, but still we have to launch, as I told here, every 3 weeks on satellite. Okay, that means you have number of people working for a given time for the satellites going to go. It is something that happened for the automobile industry some time back. Similarly, it is going to happen, not in the same volume, but simultaneously working for more than 10 satellites at a time, such that every 6 months that's one satellite realized, such that every 3 weeks one of the satellite goes out. Okay, that sort of assembly line has to happen. For that means enough scope is there for many people to work on each one of the areas are concerned. That is the idea here. How we do? How we are doing is, I think some of the people who are already part of ISAC know about that. We will try to identify. For identification, I think you also raise your hand. That's what we ask. In the classroom, we are asking who is ready to answer. Somebody will raise the hand. He will be asked. Person who raises the first, raises hand first, he has an opportunity. He is get identified first. Naturally happens that. Similarly, some way of categorizing that is there. But still, I think we are throwing it open. It is going to happen shortly for next level of expression of interest going to come as quick as possible. And you get identified yourself. Yes, what is your capability, each one of the regions. And we are ready to handhold the people development. We already have done that, and it will happen for the developing the each vendor. If you are not already a part of that, you are already part of that, you are just identifying, you will get into the next level. So then for the certification, ISAC itself does, and at reasonably it's faster rate we do it, because we have not done that. Whatever I told in 2015, I would not have made the vendor to work for 2016, to release that in 2017. Would not have happened. That means if really faster pace we are able to do it, but still we will have to identify a technically qualified aerospace system for that activity we identified. And having this certification alone not good enough, you have to sustain. You have to sustain. Today, that's the volume whatever is shown. Next 3 years, what is going to happen? It's just symbolically this volume is going to sustain. Because once the satellites on the space, the life of the satellite is limited. Okay, that means even at least to keep that infrastructure back, you have to maintain that many launches to take place. So minimum that much volume is going to happen just national requirement alone. This kind of industry participation for the national requirement. But I foresee another bigger market. Okay, once the Indian aerospace industry picks up like that, I foresee, because I had an opportunity almost every 6 months ago to participate in UN, interacting with more than 70-80 countries. For them, not many are on the spacefaring issue today, but good number of people are very eager to jump into the space industry. A good industry, good market I'm expecting, envisaging that. I think there is a possibility exists. ISRO and industry together, and Indian industry alone bidding for that market and get much more than national requirement, very much possible. So this is how subsystems, as I told here, various things I told. This is now you look at here. Doesn't mean you have to build the whole satellite. Okay, each satellite consists of so many subsystems. These subsystems, as I told here, the numbers are going to be increased 20, 30, 40 like that. So that numbers also can be realized. And from starting from structure all the way to the payload, which is the navigation payload, communication payload, host of the systems are there, and host of the systems can be realized end to end. That means from component to fully tested, qualified system coming to ourselves possible. So that our idea is to get the systems and make it available off the shelf and take it and make it given to the next level of industry, they will make the satellite to proceed. So this is how it's just symbolically indicating, but given satellite, it has host of subsystems are there, just symbolically indicating that what are the things. And each one of the system has few numbers. For example, RCS, if we tell about here, couple of tanks are there, more than 16, 17 thrusters are there, host of valves are there, host of plugging lines are there, many sensors are there. So just in one box doesn't mean that is one item. One box itself goes to be a few tens of the items coming there. All putting together systems possible. And while talking about one particular package, that opportunity exists even for the design analysis also. That is also possible. With analytical tools are there can be done. Mechanical subsystems can be realized. The avionic subsystems can be realized. Over and above that, as I told here, we have another small satellite bus. And almost we are negotiating, we are discussing, almost I'll convince my team, we will able to, because we have to change our mindset told, not only for you, I think it will happen back in ISRO also. So there is no point in keeping our own IPs and just holding, we only will do. Let us not venture too much into the repetitive jobs, need not go. So that means we are making tens and fifties of the small satellite, need not be done within the industry. So let us hand over the whole thing, if possible. Some industry study will come. They can make small satellites, outsourcing is possible. A good number of customers are there. I think they can make the small satellites within their premises. Very much feasibility exists there. And irrespective of all these things, the satellites having each subsystem, as I told here, design, mechanical system, avionic systems have come. And satellites can be assembled, integrated, and tested. And that's also enabling. If required, like whatever happened for IT industries, they worked out infrastructure. Similarly, we have end-to-end satellite realization. Also, we have the big infrastructure. It's just few kilometers away, 147 acres campus. We have made a system wherein a component to receive printed circuit board to assembly of the system, integrating the satellites. Simultaneously, more than 10 satellites, integration possible. Testing, various testing, thermovacuum testing, vibration testing, going for acoustic testing, ready to go for the launch phase is happening there. And you can be part and parcel of that. Today, we are enabling spare capacities in that. Okay, right away, I think just a week or two from now, my colleagues are here with Mr. Prasad and other thing. They are going to enable that to happen. Inauguration of that system such that you will able to, if industry is willing to come, they can start working within in that infrastructure, very much feasible. That means the production model is coming something like this. That means in-house design and fabrication will do just through testing alone. That is also exists. That means everything being done here, but the routine hardware can be tested there. That is also possible. In-house design alone does, but whereas fabrication and testing, other things, you come and do it in ISAC facility, that model also existing. Another thing is this design alone is given, and from there, build to print. That is a fabrication testing by external vendor in his facility, such that he gives end-to-end, as I told here, whatever I told, various systems can be realized in his premises and ISRO is ready to buy back. That's all, that also existing. So this is the various models, production models existing where you can be part and parcel of satellite building of ISRO is concerned. That means putting together what we are there at the beginning and what are we there today and what is our target. I think this is what I have to capture it here. And this capturing it not just handing over the task alone. You can see the bottom line, the volume of the work also going up. Okay, that means just for package, for example, less than 200, now it is going for more than 700, 800. Okay, and this number is going to touch very soon 1000. That means 4 to 5 times improvement, increase of the systems happen there. And the systems also got sophisticated. So this, not only the work contract, just mere testing or manpower contract, all the way to the realizing the whole system and handing over, number also going up. Just for Indian requirement alone, ISRO requirement alone is gone up. Okay, this is how it's happening there. That means now even beyond that also thinking is there. That means now you are started making, for example, on DC-DC converter. We have to make every year somewhere around 800, 900. Though I told the packages there, that's only talking about one major subsystem. Each subsystem itself, for example, power system itself consists of more than 70-80 per satellite within that. And for example, DC-DC converter, a smallest system of the satellite making, itself today's requirement is more than 500 DC-DC converters. Today's requirement alone is coming there. Okay, but now having done that, repeatedly doing, there exists a possibility end-to-end subsystem outsourcing. We have to do. That means this design today, whatever resource you have designed, You need not agree. Okay, if you feel there is a manufacturability point of view not existing, design for manufacturing, yes, we enabled, because being R&D organization, there is a possibility exists. We could not have designed for the manufacturing point of view. Okay, I think probably that also can be addressed there by industry. That also, then accordingly you can come for the modularity, repeatability point system point of view, cost optimization, value engineering, and after that you can make it available. So this system also we are trying to enable such that it is not only just you are reproducing, definitely your innovative skills to make it better also possible. This will wide open in another type point of view. That means putting together, you can put it here in a caricature point of view. Our truck was having 5 satellites a couple of years back. We made it 10, last 2 years we made it now. Now we have to make it 18. Okay. When we're doing it here, each junction, it changes the way which it will go. That's what the gear changes I told. Now load also changing. Accordingly, the end-to-end satellite realization, at least good fraction of number of satellites what I told here. It's a symbolically one of the geograph indicator. When you talk about 20 satellites to realize, what is our idea of these sort of satellites can be done possible by industry, end-to-end, which are the things ISRO alone will do. Also you can identify. That's up to the industry to take and use this opportunity and make yourself as a part of the system. And towards when we're talking about here, as I told, a good number of infrastructure we have already built, and this is all ready to occupy situation. Okay, these are all not in the drawing board. This is ready to occupy situation already sitting there, and this is the one of the first satellite IRNS, as I told here, IRNS 1H, which is the launch pad. Next satellite integration will be starting from here. Just maybe 10 days from now, okay? That may happen from industry, consulting industry. So from there, I think that can occupy another 5-6 satellites simultaneously by another 4 industries, also possible, existing possible. That is ready to occupy and operate condition it's sitting there. That means what we are going to do is put the things summary together, just for your point of view. Outsourcing of spacecraft assembly integration testing probably going to come soon, because we are discussing about modality. We having experienced what we have done for the last 1.5 years. Now, as I told here, the volume has increased. Experience also good. Volume also increasing. Putting the things together, we are going for the next level of more vendors trying to get. That means expression of interest will come as quick as possible. Actually, GNV Prasad is looking for that. This is interested to him. So he should feel the fire of the how soon we can make that. So that next time when I'm charging here, his responsibility is we have already announced the expand of opportunity. Expression of interest already out, and I think that's what responsibility will take. So then RFP will start. Then critical evaluation of the selection vendors. This will happen. But these are all we're talking about timeline. What we're talking about within ISRO is not typical government of India regulation timeline. It is a typical ISRO timeline. Okay, that I think you can understand what does that mean. So we are ensured that 2018 this will get realized. That means when the expression of interest has to come, select the RFPs come, select the vendor, give him the training, and make him to put for the thing is concerned. Because this is how I came from a village where is our swimming pool, they are thing called swimming pool. It is open well. You will go and they will throw you open into the well. It is up to you to learn the swimming. Okay, he will not leave you like that, but still will give you hand holding. You will able to safely swim for the Indian space industry is concerned. Yeah, that means end-to-end satellite technology outsourcing is very much possible. Putting the things together. That means subsystems production, as I told you, huge number of systems to make one satellite that can be realized. Then come for the satellite assembly integration is concerned. End-to-end, I think infrastructure is in a place, components in a place. Hardware, people who can make the hardware also trained, good number of people are there. Now the thing is to enable all of them to make the satellite end-to-end. I think that's what ISRO is trying to do that. Its own way of doing, I think having already seen much good success, I think we thought we can do it. Because when I'm talking about here, many times we told we have gone to the moon, we have found the water on the moon, we have put our national flag within 4 lakh kilometer away, the 100-meter accuracy just fall the chart. This all happened along with the Indian industry, not ISRO alone. Indian industry is a part and parcel of that. With that, we are confident, yes, we can do. While doing all these things, many things will happen. That means change in global business scenario is another domain. Okay, it is not only for Indian national requirement for space has increased, outside the requirement for the global business scenario for space is enormously keep increasing. I have the first hand knowledge about how it's going out there. You can very well tell it's happening there. That means partnering with ISRO to meet the national requirements when you're doing not only your business within India, there is a finite possibility you can be part and parcel of the global emerging space scenario. You can be part and parcel of that. This is another business model emerging there. That means you are getting qualified by ISRO, and definitely the partners, there is a exist possibility whether you work further. Either we also plan to make the good number of things are asking whether we can make the satellite for the foreign vendors. When we are doing, you can be part of that. There exists a possibility they themselves can ask you to make the satellite component, satellite subsystem. Various models are available from where whatever I told here, various models exist because people are trying to see what we are doing. And India is capable of doing it. South Africa thinks why I cannot do. Okay, and very many nations are thinking why we cannot do when India is able to do. So when that's happening is there is very good possibility Indian industry can be part and parcel of this global scenario of how global space is emerging. Not only Indian space emerging, global space emerging. You can be part and parcel of that. Very much concerned. To conclude, creating a technology advanced country, we require innovation, teamwork, partnership, and collaboration. Let us move forward towards this. Alone, this is where I used to do anytime. Alone we can do so little, but together we can do so much. Thank you very much.